Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Black Ops 4, and today I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks for flanking in the game. I know a lot of you guys are extremely aggressive players. Call of Duty has become so fast-paced. The maps in Black Ops 4 are fairly small and very easy to navigate to be able to flank and come up behind people and get a lot more kills. So hopefully I'll be able to share with you guys some things that you can apply to your game style that will help you to get more flank kills and do better overall. So the first thing I want to talk about is staying away from your teammates. This one's very important because you want to stay away from the noise. The best way to flank is to go opposite from where everybody else is going. You know, you think someone's going down the middle of the map, or maybe everyone's gravitating toward the right side of the map. Everybody's getting these crazy gunfights. Generally, when they respawn, they're going to tend to go to the same spot, and they're just going to rush right to that spot, right? Like, that's where they know everybody's fighting. They hear all the gunshots. They see other teammates going that direction. That's where a majority of the gunfights are going to take place. So if you stray away from that and you try to go the other direction, go on all the way around the outside of the map, sure, you might not see a lot of action for 20-30 seconds while you're trying to get up behind them, but it'll definitely be worth it because you'll be able to get up behind the other team. They won't expect you coming, and you'll have like 4 or 5 free kills there if you play your cards right. So make sure that you're staying away from your teammates, staying away from all the noise so that you can have a successful flank. The second thing I want to talk about is not cutting corners and take the longest route. One of the things that I just mentioned was going all the way around the map. You want to make sure that you're not cutting corners. Generally, you get excited when you start flanking, right? Like, you get halfway there and you're like, oh, no one knows I'm here. I'm almost in their spawn. All right, I'm just going to take this shortcut to where all the enemies are. I'm already almost back here. But you're always going to get in that situation where there's either one person camping or one person just happened to spawn even further back than the rest, and someone's going to cut you off. So make sure that you're not cutting corners. You want to stick to the perimeter all the way around to the back of the map, so you don't have to worry about someone spawning behind you or someone that was just sitting in the back of the map waiting for someone to flank. So make sure that you're not cutting corners. Make sure that you're taking the longest route. That way you have a better chance of successfully getting the flank. The third thing I want to talk about is flanking at the start of the game or the start of a round. These are your two best opportunities to get a good flank in. Obviously, you know, you can flank at any point during the game, but at the very beginning of the match and the very beginning of a new round, if you're playing something like domination, those are the best times because people are either playing the objective, not really focused, kind of just figuring out what to do. If you skip the flag or you skip whatever objective game mode you're playing and you go straight to the perimeter of the map where people don't tend to go and you get behind them, it's going to be perfect. You're in a perfect opportunity to get a lot of kills because a lot of people are just starting out, right? A lot of times you get players that haven't even started playing yet, right? Sometimes people don't just jump right in as soon as the game starts. It takes them a couple seconds, whether they're picking a class or doing something. So make sure that you're flanking, taking advantage of those flanks at the very beginning of games and the very beginning of new rounds. You'll do much better, especially search and destroy, man. The next thing I want to talk about is not to push too hard. Don't take on the entire enemy team. A lot of people get really excited when they flank and they end up killing a couple people. What you don't want to do is go into the spawn, kill 3 or 4 guys, and then keep pushing, right? Like, because what happens is it might be easy to take out 3 or 4 guys from behind with a silencer when they don't know where you're at, but then when you have those same 3 or 4 guys that know exactly where you're at now because you're all the way back in their spawn, all taking you on at the same time, the chances are very, very low that you're going to be able to take all of them out again. So when you do hit a flank, what I would recommend doing is kind of just pulling a 360 around the map, right? Or hitting a clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. So let's say you go up the left side of the map, you flank on the left, you come up behind them, you take out 3 or 4 guys. Instead of running back into their spawn, I would just like take off right back to your spawn, right? Like, kill them all and then run past your teammates and then reset and do the same thing over again. You don't want to get in the spawn, kill everybody, and then turn around and wait for them to come back because now they know that you're back there. So I would recommend resetting, going back to your spawn, and doing the same thing over and over again. So I want to give you guys kind of a small class setup, something that I would recommend running to be able to successfully complete these flanks and do well. Obviously, I would recommend running a submachine gun. I'm a huge fan of the GKS. Honestly, it's personal preference. I would recommend using what you're comfortable with. The GKS is a very good submachine gun. I'm sure a lot of you guys know. A lot of you guys have commented on some of my videos saying that you wanted me to talk about that gun. It's very good, very accurate, and very fun to use. You'll do really well if you use that. But again, guys, just any submachine gun that you're comfortable with and that you do well with. The attachments that I would recommend are quick draw, grip, and suppressor. I think suppressor is probably the most important. You don't want to come up behind 3 or 4 guys and not have a suppressor, start shooting one, and then the other 2 or 3 turn around because, you know, you're showing up on the radar and making a lot of noise. So using that suppressor is going to be very crucial when you're trying to get a lot of flank kills. Quick draw and grip are obviously just going to help you to win more gunfights. Quick draw aiming down sights, grip giving you better aim. Those are the obvious ones. And then the perks that I would recommend running are Ghost, Dead Silence, and Tracker. Now, obviously, if you didn't already know, all 3 of those are in the same tier. All 3 of those are in perk 3, in the perk 3 tier, and it's very stressful when trying to pick 2 of those. I think that if I personally had to recommend two, I would say Ghost and Dead Silence. Tracker is very nice. Obviously, it allows you to see footsteps. So when you do run back in the spawn and you see those red footsteps, you can really just follow those straight to the enemy and make for a very easy flank. The only problem is that you have to give up Ghost or Dead Silence. And when you're flanking someone, Dead Silence is generally a necessity as well as Ghost, because you don't want to show up on the radar. So it's really personal preference. I would try out a couple different things, kind of see what you like. Maybe you're playing a game mode where people don't get a lot of UAVs, so Ghost maybe isn't that important. Maybe, you know, you're playing something where it's very loud, so Dead Silence isn't that important. I don't know. It really just depends on what you want to choose. But Ghost, Dead Silence, and Tracker are the three best perks when it comes to flanking. But anyway, guys, those are some tips. That's the class setup, some things that I would recommend going for when trying to successfully get flanks in Black Ops 4. If you guys have any more questions or anything else to add onto what I talked about, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.